So I think there is nothing wrong with guy-girl friendships, and even if either of you guys are dating. But that being said, you do need to respect the other person. So you need to be respectful of her boyfriend, and just like be conscious of that in the way that you're spending time with her. You should be doing it in groups and in public, and just be respectful of him and thinking of him as you're building that friendship. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
Only be Christian, but be pursuing the Lord. I think a lot of times it's easy to see a boy at church or see a boy praying and you're like, oh, he's following the Lord, but you actually have to see that lived out, I think, is the first quality. And then second, he has to respect the girls. Like, if a guy doesn't respect me, then that's a deal breaker automatically. He has to respect me. And I think just looking at what I look for in a guy is I look at his friends, who he's surrounded with, who his community is, because that says a lot about you too. If you're hanging out with the wrong crowd, then that's kind of a sign that you might not be the best guy. So essentially just someone that's pursuing the Lord, that respects me and treats me well, is what I look for.
So things that I look for in a guy is that, for starters, like, he's Christian, but more than that, like, he's actively pursuing a relationship with Christ, far more than he's pursuing a relationship with me. But that being said, I would want to date someone who's intentional with their purposes in dating me, and also someone who's like honest and has a good character, and is just willing to put God above like anything else.
Yes, I would date somebody that is not a virgin, because, like, yes, that's sinning, but I have plenty of my own sins, and that if they've repented from that and they've turned to that and they've given that to the Lord, it's not something that we need to worry about anymore. And if there is like some baggage that they're working through, they should probably get to a point where that's not gonna, like, being in a relationship can, like, sex can be tempting, but that shouldn't be like their only focus in a relationship. So if they've repented from that and they're in a place like where they can have a relationship and it can be healthy, I would definitely date somebody that's not a virgin.
Okay, whenever you're splitting time between God and a guy, like, your first priority, just like in life in general, should always be to put your relationship with God above any other relationship that you have. So with that being said, like, you need to make intentional time to spend time with God, and then also surround yourself with just godly community outside of your relationship. But also within your relationship, you need to make sure that, like, Christ is going to be the cornerstone of, your relationship with this guy. And, like, what you do in that relationship needs to be honorable to God. Like, if God ever caught you in a moment in that relationship, like, you shouldn't have to feel, like, ashamed. Like, you should feel, like, proud of how you're handling yourself. And so I would just always make sure that you're dedicating time. Like, you're going to dedicate time throughout your day to spend with this guy, and you need to do the exact same thing with God. Like, you need to make sure that you're having a quiet time and, like, going to church, surrounding yourself with community. Yeah.
You just have to have the mindset that, God is more important than your boyfriend. Like, yeah, your boyfriend is here and you like that person a lot, but your boyfriend's is not the way to heaven. God is. So you have to understand that. Like, yes, you love him and you want to spend all your time with him, but who do you love more, God or your boyfriend?
I don't really know how to answer that question, just because I'm a really awkward person, and if I did like you, I'm just probably so awkward that you would never know it. So.
No, but that doesn't. But does that mean that, so if you do like someone, they feel the awkwardness, and that's how you let them know?
Yeah, because okay, I'm just so like, okay, like, I'm awkward already, but like, if I like you, I'm like, it just raises like infinitely more awkwardness.
Great, that was a good answer.
Okay.
Honest answer. I like it.
Well, I wasn't gonna lie to the kids.
Like, if I like a guy, I'm like always wanting to talk with him. I'm always wanting to hang out with him. Or, like, I kind of, like, what's the word? Not, like, hint to him, but I put my feelings out there. Like, he's gonna know.
I'm going to just say that you should straight up ask her, but I know you're not going to do that, but I think you should straight up ask them. They'll be honest. A lot of times we don't know. Like, we're still trying to figure it out, but I think the biggest clue is if she's constantly wanting to talk to you and spend time with you. Typically, we only do that to a limit with friends. If we want to be more than friends, we're going to want to pursue you more and hang out more, so that's kind of a sign. But I just ask them to avoid confusion and be upfront about how you feel.
I think you'll be able to tell if a girl likes you if she's wanting to spend time with you and, you know, she seems interested in you. And then if you're, like, wondering, just ask her. Like, don't be afraid to ask her.